Okay, so discussing bug out vehicle and trailer options, I Googled bug out trailer and you come up with a lot of pictures and a lot of ideas. Amazing stuff. Guys got bicycle trailers, they've got converted military rigs here. This is like a M105 trailer with a military bed container type thing on it. Pretty slick. A lot of the upgraded, modified teardrop trailer type campers, little undersized things, again with big tires, off-road capable. There's another military 105 trailer with a lot of modifications and upgrades. My thoughts on that. Here's one. It was a Harbor Freight trailer frame type setup. Maybe not. Maybe it was a proprietary frame. But again, these are neat projects that a lot of people work on. This one looks pretty slick. I think that's from the Overland Expo, using survival trailers for bugging out. And these guys are talking about this. These expedition type trailers are really good, but then what happens is if that's what you take and it's part of the convoy, then great, because one of the things you have on those is a reasonable setup time, especially during a convoy. When you permanently get to a location, well, that's as good as your lifestyle is going to get, because that's as good as the interior and the amenities are ever going to get. And it can go high budget or low budget. These Australian rigs can be $20,000-$40,000. Here's one that was kind of homemade on a Harbor Freight frame, and they go different ways. Now, with the cargo trailer conversions, this is where you save money when you get a brand new one. But what happens is these people are doing permanent cabinet build-ins on these, which means that here he's showing how he did the process. This one's probably a toy hauler that they're going to be hauling their ATVs and stuff in. And the issue with that is that when you permanently mount all those cabinets in a cargo trailer, you're giving up your cargo space. And a cargo trailer can get pretty darn useful at a survival retreat. It's really useful to reduce the number of trips you're going to take. Now here's one with fold down bunks. That's kind of smart, and that can work. But one of the things that I'm looking at on this is whether it's a cargo truck or a cargo trailer, if you can make that interior removable, you're better off. If it's modular and removable, for example, your whole kitchen setup is on wheels, you unplug stuff, you unhook the water lines, you wheel the whole thing out, well, that can all go into a large tent or a cabin once it's pulled out of the cargo trailer, and you have a cargo trailer as part of the retreat setup that you could use for other stuff. Because you can use it for hauling lumber, hauling stuff to and from the market. There's a lot that you might find yourself saying, wow, it's really good that we have a cargo trailer. Even the smaller cargo trailers tend to hold more material inside than a full-size van. So if you have a cargo trailer with an SUV, you're just in really good shape. These proprietary camp trailers, here's where somebody set up kind of a different thing, like a partial flatbed trailer. Everything sets up off the side of it, and I guess when it's all taken apart, they have a cargo trailer. It's an open bed cargo trailer. It's legitimate, it's worth considering, but it's also, these types of setups are why camp trailers are going to be least valuable. They're going to have the lowest resale value out of all of these setups. And I can tell you that this rig here, where everything folds to the wall, that's not bad. But the ones where you can really return it to cargo trailer configuration are going to have the best resale value and the best retreat utility. You'll be a popular person at the survival retreat if you can pull all that stuff out of that trailer and use it as a cargo trailer. So my advice to some of the people who are commenting in my videos, I've built several of these. I'm probably going to work on more different configurations. I'm probably going to be selling off the camper trailer one because I'm thinking it's the least practical. It's got the least return on investment, unless you're going to live in it for a while and save rent. There's some reasons for that. It's at least versatile on that setup. The only thing about these really specialized ones that I think just look cool as hell, well, maybe not that one, but everybody's going to know what it is. Okay, if they see it from a distance, they're all going to know what it is. There's nothing stealth about that. In the cargo trailers, you can be a little more stealth, but when you start seeing the extra windows installed, you can figure this one's been modified or turned into something. And he's pick heavy, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, this is on AR15.com. And some of these guys are going back and forth, probably taking some of my advice, 2014, where it's a cargo trailer with upgrades. He's added insulation, very smart thing to do. Had to put the insulation in with longer screws, again, a very smart thing to do. And then reinstall the paneling after the insulation is in. Now here's where it kind of goes sideways. This is where he's building a double floor of some sort, maybe to have cargo storage under the floor. That's his configuration. That's what he wants. He's doing cargo storage under the floor. I personally not with that. I think that if you insulate the floor, you're in pretty good shape. But a double floor cargo, I'm not with that. But if you like it, you like it. But to the advice of the guys who are doing the cargo trailer conversions, I'm going to say go with a removable interior. Go with all your cabinets, all that stuff on wheels. Maybe it buckles to the wall or latches to the wall or has some kind of attachment points. And then you can go from here. This guy looks like he's going with an electronics package of a CB radio, shortwave, battery meter. This, I believe, is a heater. And then he's got some electrical outlets, air conditioner. That's going to be a little bit regional on that, I think. And that makes sense, if you're in very temperate areas with wide temperature changes. In some areas that may matter more or less depending on the expected climate. But this is something I'm going to give advice to as a response video also to some people that are building their own trailers out of cargo trailers. You can buy used camp trailers cheaper than you can buy cargo trailers. Cargo trailers hold the value much better. And when it's new, then new camp trailers are more expensive because there's more stuff. You got to buy more stuff when you're buying it. Used, they don't hold their value. The stuff that holds its value when it's used is that stripped down cargo trailer, and then if you've improved it by insulating it, okay, you may or may not get your money back out of the insulation. Once you're bugged out, once you're at a retreat, once you're setting up a retreat location, that cargo trailer is going to come in immensely useful for hauling and storage. So that's going to be my advice on that is modified cargo trailers, probably one of your better ways to go. These custom teardrop campers are a decent way to go, but you don't have stealth in the social environment. You can hide it in the woods and camouflage it and all that fun stuff, but in a social environment, I don't think you have any more stealth. People are going to know that's gear, that's equipment. That's probably some goodies that they want to get a hold of. The camp trailers, kind of low value, might have living type stuff, but your problem with those is the mobility. They're usually not the biggest tires, usually not the most robust frame construction for going off-road, and that can bring you some issues. But if you get them used for a good deal, it makes sense. But you really want to look at they're capable of relocating. You can move and relocate off to different locations, but for emergency bug out, I don't think that's the way to go. These utility beds converted over to this, they make sense for their own reasons, especially if you get a good deal on one. But if you're going to go with the cargo trailer conversions, which I think are getting popular and smart now, don't go with permanent cabinet installation. Make that stuff on wheels. Make it where you can unbuckle it or undo it, pull it out, put it in the cabin, and then you have a cargo trailer for your situation.